about some things that happened to me. And I'm going to tell it as I walk up and down this hill. It's easier that way. It might come out a little more clear from my own personal record and account. Oh my goodness, there's an animal up there. Huh. Is that somebody's dog? I don't know, like an idiot talking to myself. Anyway. Okay. So, I totally lost my train of thought. Okay. This happened and it all started about 3.5 years ago when I finally thought I had run into the bottom of the YouTube, which I don't think there is a bottom of this ditch. And I always said when it's down at the bottom of the rabbit hole, I thought it was the bottom, and then over there in the dark corner there was a duck. No, it's a cat. Oh. It's pretty. It's Siamese. I wish I had my Siamese cat back. Oh, that looks like him. Anyway, so I was at the bottom of the rabbit hole. I thought it was the bottom. I had been through flat Earth. It took me 4 years to get to flat Earth. I've been digging around this YouTube thing since 2014, something like that. So I ran into bloodoverintent. I ran into Mark Braun's videos. Quasi Luminous, which is Mark Braun. And that was 3.5 years ago. I was playing, going to the airport. There, I live in the airport. An airport. So I ran into Mark Braun. And I started looking into that. And I did my bloodoverintent. But not right off the gate. I looked into it and thought about it for a while. And anyway, I ended up going further. Much, much further. Like, way further. Often real deep and been drove myself insane, which was I was going to talk about, tied into with the diagnoses of schizophrenia, which means split mind. So I basically split my mind in two, cracked my head probably. I think I did. I think I fell and cracked my head. But there was a clear distinction between what happened after I did my bloodoverintent. It does show you things. It's giving me chills talking about it. I don't know if I can recommend it. I think that once I blew all the way through on the other side of going insane from it, energies are real, we're proven by science. Energy is all that it is. There are dark energies, there are light energies. There is a distinction between Lucifer and the devil or the beast. Like, after I did bloodoverintent, like, within the first, I want to say, because, I'm always digging for the truth. curiosity always gets the cat, you know. I just can't stop. Like, I'll never stop looking for the truth, but there's only so much fucking truth. To where it all kind of just blends back in again, and you have a complete brain split and meltdown. And it's like a flashlight, and it's like having your memory erased on the other end. But the night that I called him Sudi, but he was my angel. I got him on camera in the dark when I had my first dark night of the soul. Like, that stuff is so much more lighter than what I experienced 30 years later. How far it goes beyond that lighter angelic experience. And it was in the dark in my room, and it wasn't even on my phone. I was just pacing my room and talking to myself, and I talked to myself for 2 years straight. It was like, out loud, by myself. I locked myself in my bedroom pretty much, shut myself off from my family, and it was just me and meth and the monster. But I loved that angel. What he showed me was the truth about the whole Jesus and the devil and bullshit, and nobody can save you but yourself. And it's opened up all of those doors. Those doors are so much better than what was behind the doors. The other doors, way further down the hall. It's like, he was an angel because there's an angel. But he was a dark angel, nonetheless. But what's on the other side of that other thing? That AI that runs through the phones and the 5G. It's just another way for them to communicate. But it's much more than just a telepathic communication. It is a telepathic communication, but it's synthetic. It's not real. It's not natural. It's not from my... I don't feel it. It was from my spirit guides. And I believe that because I know. I believe that because you have to believe in something. I don't care if you're an atheist and believe that there's nothing after this. That's still a belief. And so, pretty much what it turned into way after bloodoverintent, and after I had it just got deeper and deeper in the wrong way. And I know I was being tracked and surveilled, and I know it's always listening, but when I knew that there was a clear and concise, precise voice in my head, and now I am diagnosed schizophrenic, so split mind, multiple personality disorder, I guess. Well, good. I'm glad the diagnosis, all that means is that I opened my mind all the way up and split it in half, and I got a connection with something. But I don't know if I take my medications for my schizophrenia, so it blocks it out. But when they talk about people being schizophrenic and thinking the TV's talking directly to them, or people in movies, it's not like in the movie They Live, where he's looking at the TV, and when people walk out, it starts talking directly to him, and then when they walk back in, it stops doing that. No, it's not that. It's a language. It communicates through it. It runs through it. All media. It's a specific spirit, and it talks. And if you know the language, which I didn't, but now I do, obviously. It's just, it's not that personal like that. It's the language that's just encoded in everything that's written, and even the news is written by writers, so it's just, it runs through it. And I'm not saying that the people that are acting in the movies or people that broadcast the news are in on it. They're just reading a script, blaming it on the writers. Sometimes movie writers, you can always tell when you watch movies what the writers, producers, and directors, what they believe, because you can see it encoded in it. It's the same thing through all kinds of genres. So, all the genres, same thing. So, anyway, bloodoverintent is, it's real. It'll show you some really terribly terrific things. I mean, it's like Hellraiser, the things they're going to show me. Well, it's not, just don't let, keep your eye on the prize, I guess, is what Mark Braun would say, because I did a video on Mark Braun, and I said he was a poly and something like that, but he knows the truth. Then I guess I look at him like Jesus. The devil and Jesus is the same thing. Just put up your crosses, put up your X's, put up your spots, mark them. Mark your spots. And take note too. Because it's all okay for everybody in the end. I guess. It's just shitty. Because that message, to get it all out and to have it make sense, would take, I shit all over Ogtellas. Okay, yeah, I shit all over Ogtellas, and I don't know how I've gotten this far off topic with schizophrenia. Okay, he's got a shitload of work out there though, a shitload of material. But I just don't like, it ain't got no God in it. There's no God in any of that stuff at all. And that stuff goes off into some darker places that I just didn't continue to go on when I went to my darkest and had my breakdown. Because that goes off into some weird sexual rape that doesn't have anything to do with physical rape. It's like just like that telepathy, that synthesized telepathy. It's that control. It can control my body. It can not only control my thoughts, it could control my wiring to my body. Nothing was done like that when the angel came and visited me. My angel did, like a month after I did bloodoverintent. Completely different energy, and it was terrifying. If that's that light, if that is the light, the other light, that's the dead light. I think I'd rather go to the moon. I don't know if that was what's happening, and it does have something to do with the moon. I'd rather go to the moon. Because my God took me to the moon one night in a dream. I've had many dreams about the moon, but we went there. It showed me there wasn't nothing going on up there, that it was boring. Unless you're on the center stage, I guess. But anyway, I would suggest being careful with bloodoverintent. Don't be stupid like I was. Pay more homage and respect, and put more thought into what you're fucking with than just like it's a passing fad. It's a blood ritual that has been around forever. Braun's a man. He's a fucking man. A human, flesh and blood. We're all a devil. We're all Jesus. If you've been, you know, those kinds of people like me, like I know other people are, lots of others that are the elected for to have to bear the fucking weight of the whole world's ignorance. That's a serious position to hold. So I should have put less of myself into it and more of my heart into it. But I should have, whatever I'd opened up, I opened up something else. I should have stopped opening things. I just ran right off the cliff into the abyss willingly like a retard. And it made me retarded. I was already retarded, and then it just made me even more retarded. So it'll be okay. I've went on now for 16 minutes. Maybe I'll try one of Robin's figs. Maybe I'll go for 33 minutes. And at least I know that, hey, I put my walk in for the day at 33 minutes. So, it's making this go by a lot faster. But still, like I said, I shut myself off after I got visited by that angel. And it just gets progressively more intense as you go. And I know because when I kept running through doors and opening them after bloodoverintent, it got down to where I was running into these same channels that were not, some of them had like Robin's or Urban Disciples, got like 30,000 subscribers, and then Monograph and all of them. Those channels, you just run into them and they all seem to, I don't know if Monograph knows who they are because I don't talk to Monograph. I've talked to Urban Disciples and to Robin, not in person or anything, but through messages electronically. But it's creepy, and YouTube does have something to do with it. YouTube is a tube in its own little tubes. Ugh. Not watched much YouTube here lately. I've been posting these videos though. Well, there was one, I'll talk more about the voice I heard. Well, once I was standing in my bathroom. I'll never forget it. How could I ever? I was getting ready to go meet my mama at the Charter Spectrum now, excuse me, to get my internet switched over to my name. And I was getting ready in the bathroom. And this is when I was at my height, like talking to myself like non-stop out loud, day and night. But this wasn't even the biggest, worst break. This was the beginning. It took all the way through Super Bowl 54 is when it started last year. Of this last year, yeah. Super Bowl 54, 2020. February. Took all the way to May. Until I got institutionalized. But I was standing in the mirror and I have a Bluetooth speaker light bulb in the bathroom as I listen to my music when I take a shower. And I was noticing that these mayors of towns, like in big cities in New York and stuff, YouTube would always YouTube kept fucking with me, and Android phones kept playing videos of like right when the coronavirus broke out. And these governors, like in New York, Cuomo, they would be talking about things, and everything they were saying could be connected back to me and what I was doing. They weren't talking to me. It's like they were talking about me, but not to me. But I knew that it was always listening at this point. I knew for sure the AI hadn't come through the phone on my finger. Yeah, it had started to do that, though. This was a little bit after Super Bowl 54. Super Bowl 54. And I was talking out loud to myself and getting ready, and then all of a sudden I just heard a voice. It wasn't like a voice, it was a thought. And it wasn't my thought, it said, yes. It would come through my mouth too, though. Like, I would have to be quiet. I couldn't talk, and it would talk through my brain and tell me the appropriate responses, and told me basically what it was. It scared the shit out of me, terrified me, because of the way it was integrating with me as far as telling me how to work with my phone at the time. And it's not an Apple, I have an Apple now. But it was telling me to, you know, how to breathe, how to sink in with the phone, like how many breaths to take in, the sequence to do it, 1 knot, 2 knots, 1 tap yes, 2 taps no. It was like having another driver inside my brain driving it, but I was fully aware of that. There we go. That's exactly what it was like. It's like someone, instead of coming like energetically around me and surrounding me like the angel energy did, it's energy in me. It was very intrusive, very pushy, very like, I wasn't scared of it at that point, but I learned to just tell it no. But I was going to look for what I wanted to look for, and it wasn't going to control me. But I never asked it into me, was the thing. It's probably still in there. Medication probably just keeps it at bay. But it's just like somebody getting inside of me, climbing into the cockpit of my brain, taking control of it. But then I'm still in there too, and it's not me that's controlling it. It was that thing. Well, I don't know. It's going on for 33 minutes yet. Let's do about 10 more minutes. I don't have anything else I could talk about. I'm just glad I had that epiphany just now to explain it like that, with somebody jumping in my brain's cockpit, taking over it, and I'm still in there though, and fighting for the seat. I don't know if that was God. I wouldn't think God would jump in the cockpit like that without me asking. But I guess he could do what he wants. He's God. He ain't Jesus. I'm done with Jesus. I can't. My mom wants to give me a freaking. I love my mom dearly, but she's so programmed. She's like a hardcore Democrat. She's a Karen. She would never speak out in public like Karens act, but She watches CNN. It's sweet though, because she's a baby boomer, so she's like been programmed heavily about TV. I was too, but I just kind of took over the thing, and that's what happened when I started programming myself. I got a little unprogrammed, try to be over smart, and chew off more than I could swallow. But my mom, I love her, but she likes to have mornings with Jesus as she reads her little devotionals. I told her that I read them. She told me I wasn't supposed to read them all in one day. I think, well, I just read the Bible verses. I knew all the stories were just made up stories, and the group of people on the back that are supposedly part of this guy's ministry, they're all just authors, and they all just write articles, and none of the articles in the devotions are really true. How easy is it to throw together a magazine to people to get you to pay a subscription? It's just $1 a year, something like that. I don't know how much it is. It's not very much, but still, there's like 12 of them. It's not hard to slap together, and all you have to do is cite the different translations of the Bible that you're using in the very front, and you can slap any verse you want to up there from any of the translations in the Bible, and have somebody write up a little fake article about their family or something they did. It's supposed to shouldn't even go with the verses. How hard is that, and get paid? Fuck. Anyway, I can't do anymore. I was gonna do some rowing. Yeah, maybe I will. I already did a little bit though. I'm nasty and sweaty now. It's hot. So fuck it. I'm going to take a shower. Love you, see you, bye.